a Spotlight Sports. We got some things we talking about today, but we're gonna go through some announcements. Um, while we doing our 2 minutes, like y'all know, a lot of injuries this week. Other than the sports show, y'all know we got the freestyle division doing their thing every Saturday. Back on the schedule. Tag team division cooking up. The arm wax shellac cooking up. Um, the magazine going in. The chop it up award show that's in the works now. A lot of can't wait for the topics or what you call it. You know what I mean? The awards, the
Category
categories. There we go. Can't wait for them to get announced.
nominations, announcements of the
Yeah,
nominations. Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be fire. Like I
hmm
said, the magazine. Y'all need to tap in with that magazine. First one was a huge success. Like he said, hard copies coming soon, so you can literally have that in your possession, hold it in your hands. That's gonna be fire as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit. Uh, Yesterday was a dope freestyle uh division with the matches we had. I know a lot of people popped up after wondering the battles and wanted to know what was going on. So hopefully they pop up this week. I seen Titan and and I seen Jay kill him. All of them was in the chat afterwards. So or today. So hopefully we get to that. But
Well,
now it's
I ain't
spotlight
ready yet.
sports time.
Uh,
You go ahead, you can do the sharing while I'm going over the game. Um. Oh, never mind.
yeah.
We'll just do another two
Almost two
minutes.
minutes.
But I mean, if you got that video ready, we'll go over that. The first little thing if you want to after we get
Yeah,
it
I got
shared
the
out and
video
shit.
ready.
All right, so
Yeah,
we'll
I got
get
the
that out
video
the
ready.
way. You know what I mean? Prayers for him. If you don't know who we're talking about, we're talking about Nick Chubb. Uh, a lot of people saying season ending injury. A lot of people saying career ending injury. I mean, it's a running back. You gotta use your legs a lot when you're running back. But it's one of them nasty injuries, man. But like I said, this week gonna be a little more difficult. But we starting to see what the teams are and what they can and can't do. So the strengths are being shown and the weaknesses being exposed with all 32 teams, especially in the second game. I feel like a lot of people are questionable about playing due to injuries. So people getting banged up. I think that has a lot to do with starters not playing in the preseason. We'll get into that topic. Um, Dealing with all the injuries from every team because everyone's got an injury, which happens a lot. It's football, but it's more um, because of not playing in preseason, or is it not? That's going to be one of the little topics we're going to get into before we go over this week's predictions. But we're going to go over who won last week first. But we kicking off the show with the Nick Chubb injury, just to have everyone's reaction and how they feel about that. You know what I mean? Um, he a top five running back, so that Browns they had a good week one, didn't really have a good week two. You can tell that they were missing him in that game. So, that, that was a nasty injury. Nasty, man. It was bad. Bad. So yeah, I'm about, I'm about to share this stream out real quick. um, while we doing that, but jeez, once we get the video popped up, I hope everybody having a good day. Everybody's ready to talk some sports. For those who don't know, Lyric is now added to the wins for the year. If for some reason he cannot join the stream as a guest, or you know, what I mean, we just gonna announce him as an actual co-host. Might as well at this point. But I'll get his predictions. If for some reason he can't make it, or if Hawkeye can't make it, or I can't make it, or whatever, we have to reschedule, or the show goes on. Whatever happens, yeah, we gonna get everyone's predictions if we have to for future references and shit. Yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. I just share this out. Boom, boom. We all good. So it's time to kick this show off. So like once you get the video up, we'll go through that real quick because I just need to get this out the way. I already watched it once. I don't even want to watch it again, but it's for the show. So we're gonna watch this again. But disclaimer for everybody: if you got a
Yeah, because
weak
this is my
stomach or
first
you don't
time
like
seeing it.
seeing,
That's the only reason I'm playing the video. With all due respect to Nick Chubbs.
yeah, it's all respect. But oh man, I'm just giving everybody a warning. I'm giving everybody a warning now.
Warning,
If
warning,
you
graphic in
yeah,
nature.
if you don't want to
Stomach
see this
can't
video,
handle it. This ain't for
you might
you.
want to
No one
might
under
want
the
to
age of
fast forward.
18, please. But I mean, it's not like that where children can't watch it. It's just really graphic. If you don't want your children watching it, don't let them watch it. Um,
Another disclaimer: this is not a kids show. So if you got your children watching it, that is on your own discretion. I'm just pointing that out. Anything here is not kid friendly. Everything that go on YouTube, it says not for kids. But
it's
as
now
parents, you know what I mean,
time
if you
for
decide,
sports in the
yeah,
spotlight.
if you decide to let your kids watch it, that's on you. Not saying we vulgar. We just, you know what I mean, we got some decorated words that we be using sometimes. It's more like a hood barbershop. Oh no, Jesus! Disclaimer, y'all. God, I don't even want to see this shit. Mm, it's sad, but hopefully it's not career ending. Like I said, I don't think it is because the way the player he is. I know he was on my fantasy. It just sucks not to have him because that's the bread and butter of the Browns. It just seems like everybody in AFC North got good running backs. They know what they need to do. Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, J.K. Dobbins.
Trying to pick his way inside the 5, and he does. Knocked down at the 3. Ball came out, but he was down. Minka
I
Fitzpatrick
missed it.
gets the
Hold on.
tackle, but a gain of 5.
It's going when it replays it, you're gonna
And the
see it, bro.
last thing any Browns fan wants to
Okay.
see, Nick Chubb holding his left leg. Oh, boy.
There's a better video, but it
And
should
Minka
with the replay is the
Fitzpatrick is
one where it
down for the
shows it. Shows
Steelers.
it. They gotta run that back. Gosh, ooh, Jesus.
Wait, that's the one with the replay? That's
I
it.
am told that the replay of Nick Chubb getting injured is not to be seen.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're not going to show it. It's
See, they
as
saying the
bad as
same
you
thing
can
we said.
imagine.
It is showing
You
it on the
can't.
big screen here in Pittsburgh, and the
Well, look,
crowd gasped.
that prayers up for Nick Chubbs, man. I can tell
Nick
by the
Chubb is injured.
environment from what I'm seeing.
Minka
A picture say
Fitzpatrick
1,000
injured.
words.
Oh, I got the video. I should have sent it. It was on Facebook. I want to hit that replay, but his leg was bent all the way back, man. It looked like an L. That shit was crazy. Like he hurt
Don't
himself
replay
bad.
this. I must say this. Like I said, Nick Chubbs, wish him the best. Quick healing. Hopefully it isn't career ending. Uh,
I know
I
it's
know
season
at
ending.
minimum we might be at minimum a season injury, but I wish he could come back, shake back, and go harder than before if he can come back. And if he can't come back, it'll be an unfortunate loss. Cause they were
All right,
swinging
Eric's still
last
in here,
night
right?
to that end. Yeah,
All right.
he got his camera off.
So I guess we can either go over the games and then talk about why do you think all these injuries are
Yeah,
happening,
I'm still here, bro.
or we can vice versa. We can do the injury thing now.
It's up to you. You the host.
All right, I'm gonna go over the games first so that we can get that out the way in the predictions. And we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about. We'll leave that for the end of the show. We'll talk about injuries. We're gonna get into these the predictions and who won their predictions this week first. So the Vikings and the Eagles. The Vikings 28, Eagles at home. They got 34. That was me, Cheefa YZ, and Hawk Life won that game. The Ravens and the Bengals. I'm looking at Hawk Life right now. Yeah, you knew you was gonna have to go through this. The Ravens 27, Bengals 24. Me and Lyric won that one. Chief YZ and Lyric.
It's a close
So
one.
yeah, yeah. And then I do want to point out, y'all said something about them Seahawks last week. Seahawks 37, Lions 31. I was the only one who picked the Seahawks, so I'll take that underneath my belt. Colts 31, Texans 20. The second team I'm saying is the home team. So Colts went to the Texans. Lyric was the only one to pick them. The Bears 17, the Bucks 27. We all picked the Bucks and they won. The Chiefs 17, the Jags 9. Hawk Life was the only one that picked the Chiefs in that game. Packers 24, Falcons 25. And again, this week, Falcons won that game. I was the only one to rock with them, so I won that one. Raiders 10, Bills 38. Hawk Life won that one. He's the only one that went with the Bills. The Chargers 24, the Titans 27. Chief of YZ and Hawk Life take that game. 49ers 30, Rams 23. We all won that game. Giants 31, Cardinals 28. We all won that game. Jets 10, Cowboys 30. Me and Hawk Life won that game. Chief and Hawk Life. Commanders 35, Broncos 33. Hawk Life and Lyric took that one. The Dolphins 24, the Pats 17. We all won with the Dolphins. Saints 20, Panthers 17. They did not let us down. We all won with the Saints. Browns 22, 22. Steelers 20, and we all lost because we all picked the Browns because I guess Lyric talked us into that one. Nah, I didn't. I wasn't gonna go with the Steelers anyway. But that was the games for this week. So those who paying attention this week, I got 11 wins. Hawk Life got 11 wins, and Lyric got 8. Now for the whole season, the wins for the season, I got 21 games I won. Hawk Life got 19 games he predicted right, and Lyric got 18 games that he got checked up, that he got right. So with that being said, we going for anyone who wants to say their piece or talk their shit of the ones they played and their predictions. Now's the time. I'm gonna start off with y'all keep sleeping on them Falcons. I'm sorry. I know you don't like them, but hey, I done got 2 weeks in a row where I'm the only one who went with them boys. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I think the Giants was I didn't think that game was gonna be that much scoring. I ain't gonna lie. The Commanders kind of
Fuck them
surprised me.
dirty bird.
Again, the Saints in another close
Commanders.
one. You were right about that. Yeah, the Commanders surprised me on what they did. The Bengals was more, that touchdown was more like it was already over, so that didn't really surprise me. A lot of people had Joe Burrow coming back doing his thing, but he injured. Like I told y'all, he was injured, so I knew he a wounded horse. He a wounded horse right now. The Colts with they 31, they did crazy. The Eagles, I think, had the most points. No, the Bills had the most points this week with 38. Against the Raiders, they stomped the Raiders bad. I thought that was going to be a little bit closer than that, but that was a surprising game as well. Yeah, bro, I already knew I was going to talk about that Packers. I told you weren't going to last long. The Falcons took them out. I told you it wasn't going to last long. The love did not last long.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I seen. Let me tell you this first and foremost. Let me see my Saints. Who that said they gonna beat them Saints? We beat Carolina like ass.
I knew
I
y'all was
tried to
gonna
give
beat
the
them,
benefit
but
of.
you said the Bengals was
I
gonna
tried
win,
to
and
give.
you was wrong. You was
I
wrong.
did. I did. I was trying to root for the
You was
home team,
WRONG.
But I won't lie, Baltimore had a very good game. Offense looked good, defense looked good. It was very close. I knew it was gonna be a shootout. I actually said Bengals by 3, and it wound up going the opposite way. So
Hey, we kind of that last touchdown really didn't count. It's on the board, but they weren't coming back. Um, but before we go over these games and we predict, I'm gonna point out some. Okay, Nick Chubb for the Browns. That's the obvious one we talked about. That's a big injury. They're saying they're gonna sit Joe Burrow more than likely, and that means Jake Brown is coming in for the Bengals. Um, the Colts, they're saying Anthony Richardson might not play, so they got Sam Ellinger and Gardner Minshew, which I think they'll probably start Gardner if he don't play. The Saints running back core is a little injured. They're saying that two people not playing for their running backs, Brandon Ayuko or Ayuk. I mean, I don't know how to say his name. He a dope player, so don't hold me to that. He not playing for the 49ers. Jalen Waddle is questionable for the Miami Dolphins. Austin Eckler for damn, forgot what team he played for. I ain't even gonna lie, but he's out too. So there's some notable injuries. Okay, for week 2, other than J.K. Dobbins and Marcus Williams and the other injuries that we already know about for week 1. That's the notable week 2 injuries for this week. So the first 2 weeks I had 8-8, so I had 8 home wins and 8 away wins. This week I got 9 home wins and 7 away wins for my predictions. That week about to kick off. The first game, the Giants, who are 1-1, going against the 49ers, who are 2-0. That's Daniel Jones and Brock Purdy going after each other. And like I said, I love defense. I went with the 49ers in this game. I think the 49ers are going to beat the Giants. The Giants got a lot to prove.
Yeah, I'm going for 49ers.
Yeah, defense is just, I mean, hey, they won their
yeah,
last game, but
this
I'm
a
going to go
no.
49ers.
Yeah, this a no-brainer. This definitely a no-brainer. New York ain't got a chance in hell. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo.
Yeah, maybe that New York team. We're not talking
Yeah.
about the Jets. We're talking about the Giants. Just so people know that New York team. Yeah. So we all gonna go for the
No,
49ers.
no,
All right,
yeah.
cool. This is my first game of
Who
the
we got?
week. This next game,
Uh-oh.
the Falcons are 2-0, and the Lions are 1-1. And
Mm.
I mean, I went with the Falcons. I gotta go with the Falcons again. I'm gonna go with the
I'm
Falcons
I'm
again.
I'm going for the Lions.
Hey, shout out to, like I say every week, shout out to my brother. I haven't picked the Lions yet, but they just got to prove it to me. So, all right, all right. I'm going with the Falcons. I already know what Hawk Life go. I already know Hawk Life. I already know. But go ahead and say it for the fans.
You know, we don't fuck with them dirty birds. We live and die on the creed. Fuck them dirty birds. So with that being said, like I said last show, they shouldn't have threw them eggs. Now with that being said, they know what we talk about. Our fucking busters throwing them eggs at our busters. Y'all know what we talking about. Now with
Hey,
that
you
being
know they got it. You know that Team Savage when they use their own children to throw the Falcon
yeah,
eggs at your ass.
I'm telling you now, they're not cooking in
Hey,
Atlanta, Georgia, but them
all right. Well, I'm gonna say
motherfuckers,
what I said the week 1
Detroit.
and week 2. I'm gonna say the same thing because y'all want to shit on the Browns. Like he said, but y'all been shitting on the Falcons. So I'm gonna say it again. I picked them by myself for the first 2 weeks and I won. And I'm picking them by myself again. And we gonna see. Can I make it 3-0? Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead with that. All right, y'all can shit on the Falcons, but I done proved y'all wrong twice. I think they doing it again. For my second game of the week, it's the Chargers who 0-2 and the Vikings who is
Vikings.
0-2. I went
Chargers
with the
just
Vikings.
won, huh?
Nah, they both
Mm.
0-2. Chargers lost.
Oh, they lost. Okay.
Um, like I said, the
Ah,
second team that I say is at home. So the 49ers are at home, the Lions are at home, um, and like I said, the Vikings are at home. So the second team is always the team at home that I announce. So Chargers is 0-2, Vikings is 0-2. I'm going with the Vikings. They let me down week 1. I didn't go for them week 2, but they both two teams at 0-2. The only teams that haven't got a win that are facing each other at the same time. Every other team is either 1-1 or 2-0, facing a 0-2 team. So I think this is going to be a game of the week. They both hungry for that first win, so they gonna play their hearts out there. Like Lyric would say, they definitely gonna play their hearts out in that game. So I got the Vikings. And you was
I
charged up
agree.
last week, Lyric.
I
And I'm
I
still
agree.
charged
I
up this
agree.
week. I'm going for the Chargers.
Uh oh. Oh. I
Your
give
phone
this.
gonna be dead.
I give this to the Vikings. Look, hey, the
All
Vikings. I just
right.
feel like the Chargers. The Chargers got a chance, but the Vikings at
I give it to the
home, they're
Chargers.
gonna
They've
get it.
been playing good. They've been scoring, but they just end up losing the game somehow every week. So far, it's
Hmm.
only been 2 weeks, but all right. I'm gonna let Hawk Life go first on this next one because I already know he gonna want to talk about his team, and I already know his pick. It's the Saints that are 2-0 against the Packers that are 1-1. I'm curious about him and Lyric's pick, so I'm gonna let them go first. Hawk Life, you kick it off. Go ahead, talk your shit.
This is my game of the week. My first one. I
Yep.
like this matchup. Two of my favorite teams. That's why it's game of the week. My home team and my NFL favorite team. Like I said, I was a Brett Favre fan until he did the Medicare shit. But Green Bay was always the team. I was a cheesehead. Now I know they don't have the same weapons that they had. Um, Defense is pretty decent. Still and all, even with them being at home, the Saints look like they got everything together right now. They look scary in that last one. Um, so I see the Saints going 3-0. I see the Saints going 3-0. It's hardly bet
All
against
right,
them right now.
Lyric, you've been favorable to the Packers so far. Is your choice the same or has it changed? It's the Saints and the Packers.
Oh no, bro. Shit, the Packers, bro. Of course. Oh
He ain't learned
yeah.
his lesson.
You know what
He's still in
I
love.
mean? This is where this is where the Saints is gonna lose their first
Cheeseheads
game.
are down hard. I can't be mad at him saying it because look, cheeseheads are die hard fans. Like I said, I'm a cheesehead. I want so badly to go for the Packers, but I can't not go for the home squad because I know they nice this year. They've been having some off years. This one of them years they're gonna make it to the playoffs.
Well,
They're
Bro
gonna
went
have
with the
some wins.
Packers. You went with the Saints. I'm gonna go ahead and break the tie right here. I went with the Saints. I ain't feeling the love. I ain't feeling the love. You know what I mean? I don't. The Packers be
That's all
getting
right.
packed
They're
up.
That's all
gonna
right.
beat
That's all right. That's all right. Both of y'all gonna become a pack with the Packers. That's all.
Ooh,
That's all
Hey, look, I'm gonna blame it on Hawk Life if they lose. That's what I'm gonna do.
right.
All right, the next game,
blame it on the
the
liquor.
Texans. The Texans. Hey, that's what I did last night. The Texans are 0-2. The Jags are 1-1. I went with the Jags in this game. They at home. I went with them. I really didn't pick no teams that ain't got no win. I think everybody who it ain't win yet still ain't gonna win. So I went with the Jags. They 1-1. I think all the teams that are 0-2 gotta prove something to me right now. So I went with the Jags. I'm not gonna go with a losing team. It's just you gotta play the cards. You gotta be smart. So I'm gonna go with the Jags. They know what that win's like. Even though every team that hasn't got a win yet gonna be hungry, they got to prove it to me. The Texans, they nice. They CJ Stroud doing his thing. Like I said, the rookie Will Anderson on the defense, he doing his thing. But I'm gonna go with the Jags. They know they know how to get it done. They got the win so far, so I got to go with them.
Um, Good game, good matchup. Not one of my games of the week. Um, Texas had a rough start. The Jags had a solid start. Um, Jags at home. I feel like Jags pull it out. I can't complain with that one.
All right, lyrical. You got Texans or Jags?
Yeah.
Remember your map. If you think the Cowboys gonna lose this week, you might as well go with your Texans. I'm just fucking with because he got this map where he can't pick both of them to win.
Wait, who is Cowboys going against?
The Cardinals this week. We'll get to that later though.
Oh yeah, Houston gonna lose.
All right, so you're going with the Jags too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
At
with the
least,
Jags.
at
I
least we
mean,
can
yeah,
agree with that.
the Jags. I mean, yeah.
All right, so we all went with the Jags. The next game is the Broncos 0-2. I've been in their corner a little bit, but they're going against the Dolphins that are 2-0, and I'm going with the Dolphins again. All right, they just a better team. I got to go with the Dolphins. Russell Wilson got to figure it out. Jalen Waddle might not be there, but I don't think that's going to hurt them too much. So I still went with the Dolphins to take it at home.
Yeah, I'm going for Florida as well. You already know.
Who knocking? Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Are you good?
I said Dolphins. I'm going for Dolphins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Broncos and Dolphins.
Uh, Broncos and Dolphins. That is my second game of the week. Russell Wilson, Tugliuva. I think that, well, okay, I'm not going to try to say his name. I'm just
Tua.
call him Tug. Tua or Tug. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But two dope quarterbacks, two capable quarterbacks. I feel like you know, I I won't lose no sleep if Denver lose with Peyton and his fake ass. But I will say I will say Miami gonna take this one. It's gonna be a slugfest. Be close.
All right. Now I'm going to my third game of the week. The Titans are 1-1, going against the Browns at home that are 1-1. They don't have Nick Chubb, so I went with the Titans. They both even on the wins and losses, but I feel like the Titans they both got to figure it out. But it's more of a handicap to the Browns not having that. They do have Kareem Hunt. Don't get me wrong, as the next man up for the running backs, and he's a fire running back. He get the job done, but I feel like them Titans gonna take the Browns out.
Mm. This is a good game right here. This is a good
Yeah, that's my week
matchup.
game, my third week game of the week.
It's not my third week game of the. It's not my third game of the week, but it's a good game. Um, Emotional Browns team going up against a turbulent Tennessee team. Can't seem to get a dub right now. I think it's gonna be a fight. I'm gonna still keep my faith in the Browns. I feel like Kareem Hunt gonna come in and do the job, and they're gonna figure all the other pieces out. So I give it to the Browns.
I I already know where Lyric going with this, but I'm gonna let him still say his piece.
Don't shit on the Browns.
I'm shitting on him. I went with the Titans. I already know what you was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Browns.
I like to stand alone. It don't matter to me. All right, next game. This is my first upset game. It's not my fourth game in the week, but this is where the person who got less wins is gonna take it. And I already know that both of y'all probably gonna have something to say. I will say, it's the Bills 1-1, and it's the Commanders 2-0. I really don't like Josh Allen like that, but I think the Commanders just had some easy games to get their 2-0. So I feel like it's gonna be an upset. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think the Bills gonna beat the Commanders, even though I love defense. And I'm going. Last week I didn't go with the Commanders, and they won. And I knew that defense was gonna do something, but I still got that feeling this week. They're top three defense. Surprisingly, they're a team that's surprising everybody right now. But I just got to go with that quarterback matchup with Sam Howell and Josh Allen. I just feel like Josh Allen should get the job done. But I do like to point out that the Commanders do got a good defense. But I'm going with the Bills. Go ahead and say something about the
Mm,
Commandos. I already know you're going to say that bullshit, but it's the Commanders. Just to let y'all know, but I want the Bills.
mm. Mm. I'm gonna say this was my third game of the week. Uh, gonna be a good game, a tough go at it, but the Bills pulling out the W. That's what I got cracking. Sorry, Commanders, formerly the Redskins. Racist name they say. I don't know.
Yeah, depends on who you ask. But Lyric, go ahead, go ahead. We ready.
Oh, that's how you knuckles feel. That's how you knuckles feel.
Hey,
Y'all just gonna
I'm
go for the
I'm
Bills
I
like
want to
that?
hear what you're gonna say about this
No,
next
I
game,
said the
but I
Bills.
will.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you know he been
Yeah.
picking the Commanders all
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with the
I said the
Commandos.
Bills. We know you gonna
Oh,
win.
yeah, you're gonna go with the Commanders. But I want to know how you feel about this game. I'm gonna let Lyric go first,
Uh
even though I know
oh.
where he gonna go with it. But his heart gonna be torn this week. Cause it's my fourth game of the week. It's the Colts who are 1-1 against the Ravens who are 2-0. Y'all know I'm going with the Ravens. Um, but I do feel like if Anthony Richardson plays, it's going to be a dogfight. If he doesn't, the Ravens going to stomp the Colts. But the reason why I said I'm waiting for Lyric because he been going with the Colts all year, and he been talking that shit. But now it's against his favorite team, so we need that announcement. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead and pick the other side.
Yeah.
I dare
You know. I hate to say it, but this is where Ravens gonna get their first loss. So I'm going for the Colts.
you
Mm.
fucking piece of shit.
Mm.
How
Nah, I'm
could you
playing,
ever?
nigga. It's raining
Nah,
all day,
nah,
nigga.
nah. Stand on your shit.
He sounded
Stand on your
hurt.
shit.
He sounded hurt.
No.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Nah. Stand on your shit. Stand on your shit. I
Nah,
dare you.
bro. You already know. I already said this shit plenty of times. We're going for the Ravens all day. You already know. We
Wow.
done
All
stopped it
right,
for a
so
That's
hold
minute.
on. You picked the
crazy.
Colts and then you picked the Ravens, so I'm gonna let you get the tiebreaker. One more time, I gotta hear what team you think gonna win, so you can lock it in. What
The
team you
Ravens.
think gonna win? All
The
right, I'm just
Ravens.
making sure. I know you was fucking with me, 'cause I'm about to cuss your ass out. How dare you go against my? All right, bro. You know the history behind the Colts. The Colts took they team, the
I
Baltimore
know.
Colts,
I know,
overnight
bro.
and left to Baltimore. That's why I hate when you go for the pussy motherfuckers. But I'm gonna let Hawk Life talk now. Who you think gonna win? You can go for the Colts too and get
Ah,
this smoke.
man. That was about to be breaking news. I thought that was serious. Anyhow, I'm gonna tell you this. That was about to be breaking news. I was about to say, now that's crazy. Cause if he didn't go for the Ravens, and this week, this my point of the week, think it's gonna be a good game. Solid quarterback matchups, defense, uh, defensive game. Um, and I went with Baltimore. I went with
Yeah, y'all both gonna
Baltimore.
fuck with
I
me.
feel like they're at home. You know how I feel about my home teams. They're at home. I feel like they won't have a strong showing. They did real good last game, and it's like the team they playing the Colts is just like the team. To me, I feel like they played last week. It should be an easy one for them. Baltimore.
All right. This ain't my last game in the week. The next game, but I will say it's gonna be a crazy game. The Pats are 0-2. The Jets are 1-1. Jets at home. And like I said, I didn't really pick too many 0-1 teams. I think I had one upset. Let me double check real quick. Yeah, I got one upset, and that was the Bills taking the Commanders. But I went with the Jets. Even though I really feel like this could be a throw up game. This could be a game of the week. It's not for me, but I went with the Jets. The Patriots do got that. They got a hard defense. Mac Jones got to figure some things out. So does Zach Wilson in a way, but I just think that Jets defense is going to carry them this game. I think it's going to be a good defensive game. So I went with the Jets.
Nah, honestly,
Now
I
my
agree as well. I'm going with the Jets as
mm,
well because, bro, last games Patriots do not look right at all. Like to me, and I don't really feel comfortable picking a team and like the way how they was just
We hate the
playing as
Patriots, so fuck it.
yeah. So yeah,
oh Not my game of the week or my cup of the tea, but I definitely pick the Jets to take this. I do feel like the Patriots gonna get some things cleaned up this week, but it ain't gonna be enough. I do think in the quarterback race, I think it's gonna be basically on the defense side. I feel like Mac Jones probably gonna have a decent game. Uh, but as far as between the two quarterbacks, I feel like his game gonna be better than Zach Wilson only because he more seasoned. He a little bit more seasoned. Um, but still, I feel like the Jets gonna take it.
Yeah, after that ass whooping from the Cowboys, they better do something. All right, next game. The Panthers are 0-2 going against the Hawks at home at 1-1. Like I said, I'm not. If you ain't got to win, I'm not really on your side. So I went with the Seahawks. I think Seattle, especially the Panthers, they trash, right? I feel like this year they just not doing good. I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Seahawks.
All right, Lyric got the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks.
Gino, what I told y'all last week, Gino. And then Seattle came back and won the game. Hey, Seattle this week too. Carolina, you shit water. We just stepped all on respectfully. We just stepped all in y'all shit, pissed on the floor, shit on the floor, went pissed on in the locker room though. Nah, but seriously though, I feel like Carolina gonna get some of the mistakes together. They gonna make it a fight. But I definitely got Gene on and them Seattle's. I think they just got a little bit more in the tank.
All right, this next game could be the worst game of the week. I've been doing the worst game of the week. I think it could be, but the Bears are 0-2 going to face the Chiefs at home at 1-1, and the Bears just the worst defense in the league right now. So I feel like Patrick Mahomes can figure out a lot of things this week. I think everyone's they're overrated to me, the Chiefs, but I went with the Chiefs, so
Yeah,
that's who I
I'm going
got.
for the Bears.
Why the Bears?
He just don't like Patrick Mahomes, but that's gonna bite him in the ass because their defense
Ah,
is trash.
ah.
The Bears is the worst team in the NFL right now.
uh, I mean,
Maybe
it's
they
a
can pull off
valid
the
reason
Lions.
why he
Maybe they can
picked
pull off what
it.
Detroit pulled off, but I don't see it happening. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
Good game. Think gonna be a good game. I don't know. Uh, got Justin Fields over there. He might have a
Yep.
solid game in
Justin Fields and
Chicago.
Patrick Mahomes.
Uh, Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes. I'm a Mahomie. I feel like this had potential to be my final game of the week just because it's two dope quarterbacks. Um, and I know it's gonna be a shootout fest with that. But I will say, Mahomes did what I thought he was gonna do last week and got active more, a little bit more active. And I think every week he kind of does that. He paces himself up into the playoffs, and I think that's why he plays so well in the playoffs and shit. So once again, I say Mahomes and them Chiefs to take the dub.
All right, next game. The Cowboys, who are 2-0 and possibly the best team in the NFL right now, way they looking. I'm gonna go against the
Man,
Cardinals,
yeah.
who's 0-2 at home. The Cardinals are at home, but the Cardinals still don't have Kyler Murray. So I went with the Cowboys, even though it's that defense. It's that defense. I've been saying it all record of the show. It's that defense, and you can't go wrong with that defense. Um, I went with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are gonna beat the Cardinals.
This one for me was easy pickings because I feel like the NFC Championship game this year gonna be the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys gonna be our hardest test this year because they've been knocking on their door and history was bound to repeat itself. It's
Uh,
good to see
I
one of
hate to,
those legendary teams get back into the field of glory.
I
So
hate,
I Cowboys.
I hate
Hawk
to,
like with the Cowboys.
I hate to break up your dream, but my
Damn.
prediction on the Super Bowl, although it's kind of early right now, is looking like it might be the Ravens and the Cowboys.
No, he said
Uh-oh.
NFC championship, which my prediction on that is Cowboys and 49ers for the NFC. But who you got in this Cowboys and
Mm.
Cardinals game is the question.
Probably, I might have to say the Cardinals, man.
Man, you just want to be
That'll be
devil's
different.
advocate
That'll be
tonight.
different.
All right, next game. The Steelers are 1-1 going against the Raiders, who are 1-1 at home. In that game, I went with the Raiders. I just feel like the Steelers. It's like I always say. It's like the Falcons for the Saints. I just don't like the Steelers, and I mean I'll give them the win if I really think they're gonna win. I just don't think they're gonna have a good year this year. So I went with the Raiders. I think the Raiders got a good game. It's still good. Two defenses. Could have been a game of the week, but it's not my last game of the week. But I went with the Raiders. I think the Raiders gonna beat the Steelers at home.
Yeah,
um,
I'm going for the Steelers.
You gotta feel like shit saying that, but all right.
Stop
Steelers,
playing.
Steelers,
I'm
Raiders.
going for the Raiders. Duh. Raiders
Uh-oh.
all day, bro. That's my second
Nah,
team,
nah,
bro.
nah. You all right? So I'm gonna have to make you pick. You gonna have to say your team one more time because you don't pick two teams. So I'm gonna. What's your lock in now? What's your lock in? Steelers or Raiders? Don't let me sway you. I'm just talking shit.
The Raiders, bro. I am talking shit too.
All right. Well, you can't be
Cause you
playing with
know,
your picks like that. Cause when I rewatch this, I'm gonna write it down, and then I'm be like, oh no, he doesn't change his pick.
Steelers, Raiders. Steelers is a legendary franchise. Legendary franchise. Uh, one of the most
Oh, sorry.
legendary defensive, um, legendary defensive squadrons to play the game in the AFC. Uh,
That's a lot.
offense
2,000 Ravens. That's all I gotta say.
and one of the I say one of the dopest, rare form black coaches in the game. Successful, highly successful black coach in the game. Shout out to him. I ain't saying all these names and shit, but I know who I'm talking about. He know
Mike
who I'm
Tomlin.
talking about. Looking like
Mike Tomlin.
Country Wayne. Yeah, Mike Tomlin. Uh dope coach. Uh doing his thing over there, man. And but that don't mean I was going for the Steelers because I said that. I'm just saying that to say that, they one of them teams you can't count them out. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, in this one, I pick the Raiders because the Raiders looked good in the other games, and it looked like they could be a threat in the AFC. So Oakland for this one.
All right. My last game of the week. It's the only game where two undefeated teams are facing off against each other. It's the Eagles who are 2-0 against the Bucks who are 2-0. I said the Bucks was going to win y'all
Uh,
division. I said the Bucks was going to win y'all division. But since y'all been joking with me all night, that don't mean I'm gonna pick them. I went with the Eagles. I went with the Eagles to beat the Bucks. That's my last game of the week. I think it's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be a shootout. Even though Eagles got the better defense, I just feel like the Eagles have been showing us that their defense does have a little weakness. So I feel like this is gonna be the highest scoring game of the week. I feel like it's gonna be an ultimate show between these two teams. But I gotta go with the Eagles, even though something's telling me to go with the Bucks. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I'm leaning towards who got a better defense in that one, who can get stops.
I'm going for the
Eagles,
Bucks.
Buccaneers. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh
Go
oh.
with the Bucks. Don't switch your damn pick again. Go ahead, Auckland.
My final game of the week. My final game of the week. Let me tell you something. The Bucks been having a good start. You know they are our division rivals, so we want to see them lose. But I'm gonna give an honest prediction, and my honest prediction is that for the Bucks stop here. Philly ain't gonna play with the Bucks. The Bucks ain't got enough weapons. Simply put, Philly taking the dub.
All right, for the last game, the Rams are 1-1, and the Bengals are at home 0-2. And you know how I feel about them teams who ain't got a win yet this season. I say the Bengals gonna go 0-3. I'm going with the Rams to beat the Bengals.
All right, who got over there? Cooper Cup.
Nah, the Rams got
Cooper
Matthew
Cup.
Stafford, and the Bengals got Joe Burrow
Matthew
as the
Stafford.
quarterback. Cooper Cup is
Matthew
injured for the
Stafford.
rest of the
Joe
year.
Burrow. True, I forgot. Uh, yeah, gonna be a good game. Two solid, dope quarterbacks. I feel like Burrow gonna put it all together and put it in the right pockets. I've been seeing games. I know I've been going for the Bengals and they losing and shit. But this one they at home, so they got something to prove. They got to get their feet wet. And they gonna be out there. They gonna see blood in the water tonight. They got Matt Stafford over there with the Rams. He's good, but Joe Burrow gonna outthrow him tonight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, Monday night. But yeah, I'm gonna say Bengals. I'm gonna ride with them on this one. Jamal
The
Yeah,
Chase,
you,
man.
Bengals?
We go.
yeah, you gonna die with that
The
pick, but it's okay.
Bengals? You don't go for
Not
the
every team that
Bengals?
is 0-2 gonna still remain 0-2. They just gotta prove it to me.
But the Bengals?
Oh, Bengals.
Yeah, I'm
The
going for
uh
the
Bengals?
Rams. We're going to ram them straight in the
oh.
pussy. We're going for the Rams.
Like I said, for a
Damn.
lot of my picks, I couldn't go with a team that ain't win yet. I mean, if you a betting man, you got to go with a team that already proved they can do it. That's why
Yeah.
the the one of my game of the weeks it was hard because there was a lot of games that could have been game of the
Okay,
week for me.
let me put it this
Um,
way. The quarterback for the Bengals is Joe Burrow, right?
yeah,
hmm
Yeah, he's playing hurt, bro.
and he's hurt. Yeah,
He playing hurt. That
Okay.
that
he
that
might not
look,
play that game. Jake
NFL.
Browning might be there.
Y'all need to rest, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna give him his respect
I'm
because
dying
he's
with
doing
my
it.
Bengals.
But that nigga is tired. You can see in his face, and he's hurt. He's severely hurt. He hurt. That man hurt. Like he got his heart broke. That nigga done.
But I like to point out that two of the best games this week is gonna be them Chargers and Vikings because they both don't got no wins, and the Eagles and Bucks because they both ain't got no losses. Um, they the only two teams that's going against somebody who either has no losses and they both got the same record. Let's put it like that. They going against them two teams are going against the same teams that got the same record as them. But there was a lot of this week is probably the most exciting week for football so far. I'm not gonna say it's going to be the most exciting week because I've seen a lot of the schedules already. Um, Lyric behind the scenes said next week is the week he waiting for. He think there's a lot of exciting games next week. So next week's show gonna be dope. But yeah, I feel like the teams that ain't win yet got to prove something to me. And the only team I had to pick that was a 0-win team was the two teams that were 0-2 going against each other. So this is a prove it week to me for all the teams that ain't get their dub yet and didn't get their wins. Prove it week to me. The only upset that I had this week, which was a 1-1 team, so I didn't pick that a team that didn't win unless they already had it was going against a team that didn't win. But that 1-1, I feel like the Bills gonna beat the Commanders. That's the only upset I got this week. Cause we're gonna start getting into the biggest upset games because now we got actual playing time. We actually got some records that we can. Hey, are you looking at the record to make your pick? Or are you looking at the teams to make your pick? So this is where it's going to get more interesting for Spotlight Sports because now you know what teams and you know their strengths, you know their players, you know who Andrew, you know what they can and can't do, and you know what the other team can and can't do. So it's getting a little more interesting. Like I said last week, you don't know what teams are until week 4, but we learned it. So after week 4, it's kind of it's going to be easier to pick who you think going to win, but it's also
Yeah.
might be a little bit harder because there's always upsets. You know what I'm saying? But
hmm
now that we don't have these picks, I want to go through a topic real quick. Do you feel like the new trend with starters not playing in the preseason is that the cause to most of these injuries to these star players? Do you feel like we should go back to playing them for a quarter or two during the preseason because everyone kind of came in sluggish, um, except for a few teams, but it was either offense or defense. Like one side of the ball came in sluggish, and with all the injuries, do you think it's due to not letting them warm up in the preseason, or you just think it doesn't matter if they play in the preseason or not, it would still happen the way it's happening?
Um, I feel like them not playing in the preseason can look to some people as a gift and a curse. Um, I feel like it wasn't a bad thing, and I feel like if they agreed upon it, then they should have had some type of alternative to keep them loose and ready. Now, I will say this, not to say that everybody wasn't part of it. I will say this: accidents happen, people have off games, such and such incidents happen, injuries happen, and people have off games and such and such. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. There's some things that are unforeseen. I think it could happen either way. So no, I don't think it really mattered that they didn't play in a preseason. Because if they knew they wasn't playing the preseason, they should have some like alternative workouts that they was doing every day to keep themselves loose.
Okay, okay, okay. Lyric, you got anything to speak on the subject about preseason? It's more than injuries too. Do you think that some players aren't playing good because they didn't get warmed up in the preseason for not playing in the preseason? And do you think
No, I don't
that
think that's
injuries
it
are a
either.
factor in not playing? Yeah, all right, yeah.
I might answer that part too with the do it about the not playing good real quick before Lucas does. That part
Like,
I
go ahead.
feel like that part I feel like you play whole seasons, you have time to grow into the next season. It's things you're doing in practice that'll help you grow. If you're not growing, that's on the player. You know what I'm saying? That's on the player. The coach can only teach you so much. You got to go out and apply it. So you ain't applying it. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. If you're not growing as a player, everybody can't be the best. Some gonna be great. Some gonna be good. Some gonna be average, and some just ain't gonna never get it. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes it's like a pot of gumbo. It's how it is. It's how it works. I don't. That's why I say I don't really, think it's really had to do with the playoffs. I mean, preseason. It's a mentality. It's in your mentality. It's how you working out. Is if you have a little luck on your side, it's a lot of elements to it.
Well,
And we ain't gonna talk
um,
about the stage games.
yeah, I mean, there's been proven that refs got paid to do some things. It's in all sports. When there's money, there's corruptness in anything that you do. Um, even from business to
Saints NFC Championship game. Hell yeah, that was so damn obvious with the Rams. Hell yeah, that's why I refuse. You will never see. That's another reason why they ain't win the Super Bowl, motherfuckers. They know they wasn't supposed to go. Cheap
Where's the
ass
question?
referees.
the
Oh,
question
I'm
that I
sorry,
was
I went left field.
presenting was preseason. Do you feel like all these injuries are happening because they did not let some teams? The new trend is to not play your starters in the preseason. Do you think that's a reason to them not having a good start to the season? The troubles that they're having, and do you think is that the reason why we're seeing so many injuries because they didn't get those preseason snaps and plays, or do you think it doesn't affect them if they play in the preseason or not? Like, what's your opinion on that subject?
Okay, so um, first off, I think that's the dumbest shit that you can do is not play your preseason during practice. Well, you want to say your starters during preseason in practice and also in games and shit. That's just stupid to me. Because if we pay attention to the body, anatomy and shit, when you're working out, I used to work out like really lifting heavy ass shit. So you're saying muscles has to be warmed up. Yes, you're right. But too much workout can also damage muscles. You can pull tears, springs, and shit like that. So I think what we're seeing is a bit of both, a bit of over working out and a bit of not working out. But Do I think that it's the cause of the injuries? No, I don't.
Mm.
I think for us the reasons why we see so much injuries is because I think as far as NFL policy, it's not really set up for, to me, my opinion, it's not really set up for the players to really recover well. The way how I see it. I mean, like, there's
Mm.
some things that we have to question, like why are certain players still playing in injury? Why is certain injuries are okay to still play with when we already know that you're already injured? It could prolong into a long lasting, like
Well,
damaging and the
the quick
nerves or
answer to that
whatever.
real quick,
So,
to get into what you're saying, like the Joe Burrow situation, um, it's down to the player as well as medical staff. But when you paying somebody millions and millions of dollars to run the team, and if he can play, if that old school mentality, if you can play, then you should play. Um, I don't agree with it to a certain extent, but then you do got to agree with it because if your star player just got
but
this big
yeah,
contract,
but like I said, that's on them though. That's a contract. It's a negotiation. But like just like how when the players about to get their negotiation contract, we done. But the thing is that even still, you want your players healthy. Without your players, the team is nothing. So the way how I see it is this: I feel like that the policy as far as the injury should be re-looked at. It should be reupon. There should be something said more for players not to take a L and for something to where the teams not to take a L. I just feel like that
uh,
we're leading into a newer point of football now where injuries are just inclining. So now we have to look at just how to deal with injuries and also how to, like deal with the team. So this
they
could probably
did
will
that with
pro-
the concussion stuff, but I don't agree because um,
this
like
could
if a
probably
player feel like he
increase.
can play, then he should play.
Well,
If he
yeah,
don't feel like he can play, then he
but
shouldn't play. I don't
here's the
think you
thing
should
though.
put
It's kind
anything
of
on
common
there.
sense. It's common sense that if you hurt your wrist and you still on that wrist, or if you hurt your leg, you still on that leg, it's going to cause more problem to the
Yeah, it's the
injuries.
RG3
So
effect.
right,
It's
but
the
but we
RG3
have to
effect.
think about
He
it.
played through
The
his injuries
players
and
are
it ruined his career.
the
But
the
what I'm
the
saying
players
is
are playing. The players are playing hydrated. The players are playing dehydrated. Pretty much, you can't drink water for a certain amount of while before you start a game. It's a certain things that as far as what a player has to do during the game. They can't have Gatorade like that. They're gonna have only a certain amount of this, certain amount of that. You know what I mean? So when you kind of look
and
at
that's
it,
down to the staff.
it's not feeding the muscles properly. So if you're playing with an injury and you should be treated regardless on how minor the injury is or how critical the injury is. Yes, we see that with a lot of critical injuries. Yes, they do remove from the field, they're out for the season, or they're out for a certain long amount of time. But the ones that are minor injuries, those are the injuries I feel like that we have to look at the most because later on, those come back to occur during the games. And it's like, boom, one wrong hit or one impact. And it's like, that's the biggest 15 minutes a moment in the game that everybody
That's
eyes
the
is
risk to
on.
get in W's. I don't think they
Well,
should.
yeah, that's
I
risk.
think they
You know
got
what
it
I mean?
right. I think the NFL got it right because if you all right, so let's just say people are built different. So some people can handle injuries more
Yeah,
better than other players. But if
right.
you step in and you say, "Oh, you got this injury," so the NFL is telling you that you can't play your player, then that would be too far. Because
Well,
then it'll go into the scheme of like Hawkliff was saying, you can rig games
well,
that way. You can be
let,
like, okay,
let,
hold on,
let me
he
Yeah,
got a
finish with
little
can.
this.
injury, we
Let me
not
finish
gonna
with
let him
this.
play.
Let me finish with this because that was the same part where you had cut me off with. Now you're right. You're right. But at the same time is this may increase the numbers of players on each teams. So who to say now we might be seeing a whole new era of football now where instead of having like 50 something people on the team or whatever,
53.
there might be more now. Because think about
There
it.
is more.
Off
There's a
of
practice squad.
well yeah, there's practice squad. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you have more people to coverage, then I think it might be a good reinforce the team. I'm just saying that basically something has to be placed for the team and also the players, pretty much,
That's
because
that's down to the managers. This is why I disagree
right,
with you. I'm glad we're having this conversation because let's say this. All right, if you know, like Joe Burrow case, we'll stick on this one. If you know your backup quarterback is not half of what he is, you get what I'm saying? So let's say Joe
yeah,
Burrow's at 75%, but you
yeah,
know even at 50%, your backup quarterback is not better than him. You
yeah,
would
you
want, if
can't,
he can play, you're gonna want to keep him in there, even though he
right,
injured. You still gonna be
right.
like, we got a better chance with him being injured than even having that 100% healthy Jay. You know what I mean? Jake Browning in this situation, because Jake Brown is the backup quarterback for Joe Burrow.
All
So
right.
if you know, hey, I want to play this guy, we got a better chance at winning, even if he had 50%, than having 100% on our backup. So I get why they play injured players, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I get it
And a lot of
because
times with that
you're
too,
giving the
because
best.
people don't want to get out neither. They be like, man, they be really want to play. They know they be having injuries and shit. They feel like some of them they can play when they be wanting to play. They don't want to miss out on certain money. People got families, they missing the senators and bonuses because they out hurt. You got to think what they doing behind the
Well,
scenes. You got to think about what's going behind the scenes.
well, yeah,
That's why I said
and
it's up
that's
to the team. Like Lamar Jackson, well, if there was a rule in place, and when he went back in that
that's what
good
I'm.
where everyone said he was taking a shit, if he went back and you saying, okay, if you go to the medical tent, you can't return back to the game, then like we all play ball, right? We all play football. So let's say you at like we'll put it to this terms. You outside, you take a hit, and for 10 minutes you feel like you can't even walk. But after
Mhm.
20 minutes, you're like, I could play again. So you jump back in the game. That's you know what I mean. That's up to the
That sh-
player and the people
that
around
should be
you.
a fine. That should be a fine then. A fine for the team, for us the team portion side of it.
But then I think that would hurt football. We already into where you can't hit people and do this. If that's a fine, then people gonna be scared to get every time someone get a sprain, anything, they're gonna be like, I can't go back on the field because I got injured. I'm gonna get fined money to play.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
but
Mark.
what's gonna
So
But
happen
then
with
then,
that?
it's
If they
gonna
was
make the
to,
game even more soft.
then,
but if they
then
was to get
I don't
fined
know, bro.
money,
I
if they
don't
was to
know.
get fined money, the teams would pay for it because they know it's gonna look
Exactly,
bad
but
on
then
them.
you know that when it come to money, they're not gonna pay that. If it's a certain amount of money, they're gonna be like, well, they're gonna scare everybody
No,
to
they gonna
where
pay it because they know they sending them out there. And if it's that type of case, it's gonna be both ways. It's gonna be either the player want to play, and I know I can't let him play, but I'm letting him play. I'm at fault somehow. So
like the Miami
that
Dolphins when Tua got hurt and he should have never went back in. That was the medical staff. That's on your medical staff when they say he clear and if he say he want to play. So it's down to the medical staff and the player. It's
right,
y'all's fault and the coaching.
right.
So
They done had a
I just believe,
conversation.
yeah, we leave it at where it's at.
So whoever
Hey,
it was in
we
the medical study might have gave him a few extra dollars, might have talked them into it. Man, look, such and such and such and such, just give me the steroid shot and let me go back in. You know how I used to be on Blitz. You know what I'm talking about. Give me
yeah,
steroid
that's
shot.
real. Yeah, that's real. But I mean, with concussion protocol, that was a different one because they do have a thing to Lyric's
You saw
point where
Jerry
they did add
Maguire.
into if you get a
I
concussion,
mean,
the NFL doesn't let you go
yeah,
back in the game. So there's certain injuries that you get which is just concussions that you get. If you get a concussion, you can't play that game, and you might even be out for the next game because of the CTE and everything that's going on with that, and the newfound evidence and all the things that we're finding out about CTE. And you don't know you have CTE until after you're passed. Right now, they can't like the Antonio Brown right now. Everyone see the videos where he was talking, the way he was talking, and then that Vontae Burfict hit, and now he went crazy, and they trying to blame it on CTE. When he says CTE, it's due to so many concussions. The same thing wrestlers get. I know this is a sports show, so we can talk about these wrestlers and the WWE wrestlers that be getting so many concussions, and then they end up
hmm
dying, overdosing, and you know what I mean, because they're trying to feel it's a painful thing when you got CTE, but you don't know you got it,
yeah.
and they
Who that
can't prove
was?
you got it till after you dead.
Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
One of them. Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit. They killed his wife and
yeah, Christian
himself.
Wild. Yeah, yeah.
Killed
Eddie
him.
Guerrero had a heart attack and his hotel room. People thought it was drugs. It wasn't. But yeah, Chris Benoit. That's another thing. They found out he had an 82-year-old brain, and he was like not even 50 yet, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's like 40 in his late 40s. That's like that kind of situation. Like
Yeah.
he did horrible things. You know what I mean? We all gonna agree on that. I don't think anybody's gonna say. But there's no like not trying to say he had an excuse, but saying
Mm-mm.
that you know what
He
I
was
mean that could have
fucked up
played the
though.
cards into that. It
Yeah.
could have to a certain extent.
I'm just gonna
Um,
say that Chris Benoit was an amazing wrestler. He probably was going through things we didn't see. We don't know how he felt in body, mind, and spirit. You could be right. There's some things that we won't be able to see. And I mean, I agree with you. That's with people that's taking initially roles on everyday jobs to help people, like as far as medical staff or doctors, surgeons, everything else. So I agree with you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and then you definitely got to think about the families and the team and the coaches and whatnot. So,
but I
hmm
do agree with the concussion protocol because you don't want someone because of that. So
no, no, you
there
really
is
don't.
that
Yeah,
where you can't come back in, and
yeah,
you get fined if you know a player has a concussion. That's the whole thing with the Miami Dolphins.
right.
When they brought Tua back in and he got out for the season, with the concussion protocol, they feel like like Hawk Life said, they feel like there was some shady stuff where the medical staff cleared them when they shouldn't have, and that's where it falls back
Yeah, he
onto
went back
them.
there pleading this case and shit like that, and they was probably in a
Yeah,
crunch time, and I think they was in a crunch time in that game, and if he would have went out that game, they most definitely, wouldn't have won. It's a lot of politics. It's really politics. It's a lot of politics, and
yeah,
that's why
with
team.
anything.
It was a situation a while back, and y'all probably know what I'm talking about, where a player says something. It was on one of the team. It could have been even with the Michael Thomas situation. That's a good example with the injury shit and him waiting three. The Saints been knew that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they been knew that he was gonna wait three. They all them had a discussion. They talked about it. They knew about it. But when it came out in the public, that's why they never lashed out on him like that, because they knew about it. It's politics. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Everything is really politics. It's politics, games, and scams, and every other part that go with lie, cheating, still.
like I said
The real.
the other couple weeks. I said it's we all got to remember that everything in this world is a business, and that's where a lot of decisions are made the way they made in any kind of corporation or company. Everything's business. It's a sport and it's entertainment and it's all these other different things, but at the end of the day, the main goal for everybody who's running the league for the NFL is business decisions, because the more wins you
Mhm.
got, the more business, the more jersey sales, the more people coming to your stadium buying the merchandise and the food and the parking spaces. So it's all down to business. So if you don't got your star player out there, that will hurt business. Like for instance, if you knew Lamar Jackson wasn't going to play and you really want to go see Lamar Jackson play and he don't play, then you're not going to go to that game because you know what I mean. If you a player, if you're not a fan of the team, you just a fan of the player, then you might sell your tickets or you might not just go. You might give them away or you
It's
might be a
funny you
stingy
said
motherfucker
that.
and not go.
It's funny you said that because they've been having a debate about players, too many players resting during games in the NBA. They kind of been having this discussion lately. Let's start
Oh yeah,
players not
they
playing.
changing
And
that. They're making it to where players have to play a certain amount of games, and they're talking behind the scenes about that
yeah,
shit, which I don't agree with. I think that's
yeah.
another thing to where it's down to the players and the team management and medical staff. If you feel like, hey, I'm gonna rest myself because I'm a little bit beat up because that's 82 games. That's a different story.
Hmm.
Now, I'm beat up. I'm gonna
Hmm.
take a couple games off just to make sure I'm good for this game, or I'm gonna, you know what I mean? They do it. It's just the new thing for I mean, football evolved in good ways and bad ways. NBA evolved in good ways and bad ways. Um, but I do
But
agree with allowing.
the thing about that is, the thing about that is, the thing about that is, with that type of situation, it's easy to say this and that and that and this. You know what I'm saying? Because they play shit so many different kind of ways. But I feel like with the NBA, with the NBA is a lot of games. It is a lot of games. And I can see people saying, well, let me rest here, there, there. But with the NBA, it's not a lot of physical contact. It's a physical contact, but it's not the same physical contact. It's like a football or what you call it, where you need to be taking off 20 games, 30 a season. But when you think about their seasons being 80 games or, 60 games, then you understand why they may take 10. But if you got 60 games, you don't need to be taking all 20. You know what I'm saying? You can take
Yeah,
off 10 or 5. But, some of those players take advantage of the benefits. And I ain't mad at them if they don't use them. But, and you're correct. It should be the players and the trend step. And I'm pretty sure that's where the decisions are coming from. Like I said, it's a lot of politics back there.
yeah.
Sometimes people are
Players,
human. People look at
management,
them in that
medical
way.
staff. That's where it comes down to. I
Mhm.
would like to make an announcement real quick. Baltimore Orioles, the first team ever to beat every team in the season. They doing some crazy shit with baseball.
Mhm.
I don't really watch baseball, but I just want to give it up to Baltimore. They doing their thing over there with the damn baseball shit. I'm like, hey, I ain't mad at you, but
They always
uh,
do. That's my
I
team.
wouldn't say always. We was there was a couple years ago. It was a little bit of a struggle for a stretch there,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it was.
to
Shout out
jump
to
back onto
Oilers.
football, I just want to say so far out of the games we've seen, and you can't pick your favorite team. So Hawk Life can't pick the Saints. We can't pick the Ravens. Um, who your sleeper team? Who you think is showing more than what we expected so far in this season with 2 games under the
Colts.
belt?
Colts.
I already knew you was gonna say that stupid shit. Now, all right, Lear got the Colts. Is there an explanation? Like, is it the rookie play from the quarterback? Is it defense? Is it offense, or
You
just a team
said
as a whole?
you said until the coach give you a reason, and they giving you a reason.
No, they lost. They won and won. They didn't give me no reason. They beat the Texans. The Texans are horrible. I went with the Texans to win, but hey,
No, though, but the Colts don't really. I
it's
mean,
it's a
like
good sleeper team. I'm not gonna lie.
they could have been like
Not
the
having
Bengals.
Jonathan Taylor and not having some of the players they needed and still pulling off some. Hey, it's cool. It's not my sleeper team, but I could see where that comes from. Hawk Life, he had a lot of sleeper teams. Who's your number one at this point in the season? If you had to pick
A
someone who's
sleeper team.
outperforming expectations,
Mhm. Outperforming expectations. Mm, that's a good one. Um, and I can't pick the Saints, so put that in my other pocket. I can't predict the Saints. That's a good question. That's a good question. Let me see. I'm gonna say Miami. I'm gonna tell you why. Miami had a rough go out of it last year. They had a good, solid showing. Uh, but this year it's a little bit different with Miami.
one of the
I
best
feel like something
offenses.
special can come out of Miami. Yeah, I feel like something special could come out of Miami this year, and very surprised.
All right, are you ready for mine?
Mhm.
It's the Falcons for me. Hey, they 2-0. You can't say Ritter. Who would have thought that he would have came in here and did what he's doing right now? I mean, they got Kyle Pitts. He's playing
Yeah,
good. Defense playing good. I just didn't expect the Falcons to be 2-0 right now. I could say that much. But I did predict it to be 2-0, and I got
yeah,
another
that
one.
same energy when they play us.
Hey, you know what? You keep fucking around. I'll pick them. I think they're gonna beat y'all where y'all mean. We might have it if they keep playing the way they're playing. It's some for the first week one. It was
That'd
it
be a
was
good
a prove it
matchup.
for everybody. And y'all, I was sitting alone on the
Yeah.
Falcons. I picked the Falcons last week. I was sitting alone. I picked the Falcons. They won. This week, I was sitting alone, and I feel like they gonna still win. But I just feel like so far out of the two games, they my sleeper team. I mean, there was a lot of people
Uh-oh.
that was picking teams when we did the first show, and this is the third show. But I said the Falcons they showed off. I mean, shout out to the Packers. I will say, bro, like they kind of surprised me a little bit as a surprise team, doing their thing because he did bring up the Packers before as a surprising team. The Detroit Lions are very surprising right now for what they're doing. Um, But yeah, I gotta go with a 2-0 team. That's the Falcons. They surprised me the most. I thought it was a gamble, and now it's not turning into a gamble for me. It's turning into that hey, they might be able to do some things. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm not saying NFC Championship. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying maybe playoffs, maybe. But so far, that's the team I got for the sleeper team of the week. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with them. Miami, I would say not much as a sleeper for me because the way they were playing last year. The thing that is that makes it a sleeper team a little bit is injuries. They're not really dealing with much injuries with Tua, but you know, I mean Jalen Waddle, but they're not getting the injury bug so far. Knock on wood, moment. And as far as the Colts, yeah, they are a surprising team, um, due to not having Jonathan Taylor right now, and I really wouldn't expect them to do too much. Anthony Richardson is probably the best rookie quarterback we've seen so far this year, out of all the rookies. So for being a rookie, but like I said, he faced two not so good teams, so he still got to prove something to me. So I'm not going to say he proved anything. I'm just saying, hey, I can see a little sleeper in there, but hey, he ain't gonna prove nothing this week.
Yeah.
Ravens gonna take him to. We're gonna show the weaknesses this week. You gotta play a good defense, even though our defense is banged up. Um, but you can explain. Hawk Life, I'll let you go first because me and Lyric got the same team that we love. But you can explain your case to why do you think the Saints are over exceeding expectations right now? You put it in your pocket. Now it's time to pull it right back out your pocket and explain why you think the Saints is
Goddamn.
doing their thing.
I don't think they o- I don't think they over exceeding. I don't think they over exceeding. I feel like the expectation was at least playoffs this year. And I think that's every year. I don't think they put an expectation on themselves, but I think we as fans, we feel like they're the greatest team probably fucking ever. I don't think there's no base like the New Orleans Saints fan base. The energy in there is electric. The feel the play is electric. The game is electric. And it's just a vibe. The city is a vibe. Everything just works itself out on game day. The tailgates, everything, the food, immaculate. But I will say this: I feel like the Saints are living up to expectations. I feel like Carr, and most importantly, is living expectation. Like him, I said, I didn't know he looked kind of rough. I felt like he had to get the cobwebs out. This one, he was there. He has. Carr has arrived in New Orleans. That game right there is on notice. In the first game, the defense put the NFL on notice. In the second game, the offense put the NFL on notice. I hope the NFL watching. I hope the NFL watching. The Saints could be a dominant force in the
I'm
NFC.
gonna comment
It's
on your
early in the
Saints.
season.
I'm gonna comment on your Saints because you're gonna comment on the Ravens. Um, I would say spots where they over exceeding that is defense for one. Defense is something that's playing more than what we expected, or for me at least. Derek Carr is right where I think he would be expected, and I think that's due to. Then this, I know you're gonna hate me for this one, but Michael Thomas is kind of playing less than what I expected to me. But knowing he come back from injury, it's gonna kick up soon, and that's where I think Derek Carr is gonna be over exceeding as soon as he can get Michael Thomas comes back into knocking off the ring rust, people would say, or however you want to say it, knocking off the rust or whatever. But yeah, I think the most surprising thing to that team is the defense. And if I wanted to point out, okay, is it pass coverage? Is it run defense, pass defense? I think it's none of that. I think it's more of the pass rushing that's really got me where I'm like, okay, I didn't expect it to be like that because they don't really. I mean, they got Cam Jordan or Cam Hayward, I think. My bad. But I didn't expect it to be where it's at right now. Now, a lot of people be like, well, they don't got that many sacks, but it's not sacks. It's disrupting the quarterback. When you see a defensive player, they got to get the ball off. I think they're cutting down the time of you staying in the pocket as a quarterback that people don't really appreciate because they don't get that, you know what I mean? That what some people would say sexy fucking like a sack. It's just like, oh, you want a sack? You know what I mean? Everybody wants a sack, but I'll take disrupting the passer because that leads to interceptions, that leads to other things and completions. So I would point out the pass rush is the most over exceedingly thing for the Saints right now. Um, but yeah, Derek Carr, I can agree with that. Defense, I agree with that. But as far as like a player that's kind of like not letting me down, but I know they got more than what they're playing right now, it's definitely Michael
Yeah.
Thomas. Taysom Hill a little bit too, but we ain't gonna go over that. He do too much. He
Yeah.
like a switchblade. I want to see more of them
Yeah.
plays where they toss it to Taysom and he throw it like they were doing last year, where they would use him
Mm.
in that lineup as like, oh, he gonna run the ball. No, he not. He throwing that motherfucker. He can throw that ball. He could have been the starting quarterback if Derek Carr didn't come. To be honest,
Mm. I agree. The defense, not real. I don't. Let me say they a little bit probably over expectations because they were good last year. Defense was good last year, but they had some rough patches as well. I feel like this year they at least top five, uh, or at least top two right now in the season between the Saints and I forgot you just mentioned it earlier. The other one that had a solid defensive out
um, my
so
five real
far.
quick. I couldn't agree. I can agree with the Saints. As a top five. I don't think top three. 'Cause I think that's for the Jets, the Cowboys, the 49ers. But I could put them in top five in an argument. I think the
Mm.
Ravens are top
Yeah,
five. Uh, Packers been
first and
having a
had
good defense.
4 interception. Yeah,
Yeah, but y'all been in some defensive games though. That's the key to a good, not a good defense, a great defense, an elite defense. Is y'all in some really? It's not high scoring, but it's not low scoring. But I would like to see a
right.
couple more touchdowns, more offense. That's where it plays into key players. But y'all in some defensive battles for your first two games. I will say that it's been old school football for New Orleans and what they've been doing so far this season with the defensive battles they've been going through, and they've been winning the defensive battles. It's like they get, like I was saying earlier, with certain teams that we were going up in their matchups, they get the stops that you need to run the ball and run timeout. They got good management to get the ball back to their offense to kill more time to make sure you win in that game. They haven't really been set up for like a game-winning drive where we have to get this. And when they did, they capitalized to let the defense do what they do. So that's why I say the defense is definitely a high point, a spotlight for New Orleans right now. But I think it will change by the second half of the season. We'll be talking about this offense a lot more once they get warmed up.
Mm.
But I'll go into the Ravens. Um, the things that I like, I'm gonna go with defense as well. Due to all the injuries we got on defense, and we got an injured offensive line, and they're still playing good for having an injured tackle and an injured center. Um, I do like Zay Flowers, but I feel like the underwhelming part, like something where I want to see more, is the passing game. It's good, but it's not what everyone was expecting. We were expecting a dominant offensive passing game. Which, like I said, for the same thing with New Orleans Saints, it's going to warm up later on in the year. We got so many new players that's new to Lamar Jackson, which is Nelson Aguilar, Zay Flowers, who I think is being a very over exceeding what everyone was thinking. And you know what I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. Even our running, we got an injured running back, so even to still pull off over 150 yards without our star running back was dope. But there's a lot of injuries on that defense to where we shouldn't be playing this good of a defense the way we are, but we are. Um, but if I had to point out, it would be pass rush for the Ravens too. Jadeveon Clowney's disrupting quarterbacks, Ajabo, Owe. It's everyone's getting to the quarterback, maybe not getting too many sacks. But we are up there in sacks. So we have 5 sacks in one game to open the season. But I like seeing that pass rush. It's something that I love defense even more than I love offense. Even though you got to score, but I think games really come down to defenses. And Geno Stone out there, he's like a third string due to injuries. He was out there. He got a pick last week. But yeah, I think those for the Saints and the Ravens is defense, and specifically it's the pass rush that's really like over exceeding what I thought they were going to do for the year. But I would like to see more from the wide receivers and the passing game from the New Orleans Saints and the Baltimore Ravens. I think the passing game should be better than what it is right now. But you know what I mean? Everyone's getting warmed up. So I'll take that. I take that in stride.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're gonna cap this episode off with. Unless you got a topic you want to get into real quick. Uh,
I got some announcements.
yeah, let's do some
Got some
announcements then.
announcements. I got some announcements. I just got a few. I just got y'all know what's coming up. Y'all been tuning in. Second annual Thank God It's Friday Fest. Sign up now. 100% virtual concert. It's going down Halloween night, man. Yeah. Hit me up for more info on the format. What I can tell you is each artist is gonna break down a no longer than 4 minutes set, one or two songs, but they got to be performing it live in an intimate setting. We turning up for the love of music, for the love of the culture, and gonna put on a dope show, a dope festival. So if you want to be a part of that festival, hit me up. Let's get it locked in. Um, you know who headlining the festival? TJ Johnson and our winner of the tournament, Bobby K. I'll be getting with them soon, getting them locked in for the festival. One gonna open, one gonna close. It's gonna be a movie. So you need to be in the building. Um, so yes, sign up for that, man. Sign up for that now. Everybody got to October 20th. Sign up for that now. You sign up by submitting your shit. And let me know that you sign up. You submit your shit to the email. Not that email. I'm gonna have a new email for you to send it to. Okay, that's not gonna be the email. That's at the bottom of the screen. The email you gonna send it to is hawklife94@gmail.com. That's LYFE94@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? Send that shit in. Send your submissions in by October 20th if you want to be a part of that festival. Also, the second annual Chop It Up the Podcast Music Awards. Oh,
It's
I
been
said
a
that wrong.
long time
The second
coming.
annual Chop It Up the Podcast Underground Music Awards. It's going down. Y'all saw last year. It's going down. Meet me in the trail. Going down.
And
Y'all not know.
I was artist of the year. I won a lot of awards last year. It was fun. Um,
Yeah,
I performed, so hopefully this year there's still some live performances for that as well. Um,
absolutely gonna be some live performances for that.
I got an
Um,
encore with some of my songs, so I was happy with
oh
that. It
yeah,
was dope.
yeah, man. It's gonna be some live performances, some probably some guest presenters. That come through on the platform and present some of these categories. Man, it's gonna be a movie, man. All I tell you, man, is to stay tuned and stay watching. Hawk Like Gaming, y'all got a little bit of taste of that today. I'm still working out the kinks, but y'all got a little taste of that today. I found the way to get it to y'all. I told y'all that I find a way to get it to y'all. I'm gonna find a way to get it to y'all in a form where it can hit all my platforms. And man, let me tell you, I'm working on it using Discord and Restream, combining the two elements. Um, and I'm trying to get it. It's just probably my internet connection. That's probably why it be a little glitchy doing the video to the
Now
game and
I
shit.
got
But
something for you when we get off of here. Um,
okay,
that will help with that. I was already gonna talk to you about it after the night.
I bet. Also the website launch, um, release flyer will be coming soon. Me and the homie Genuine Vibes, Lyrical. We've been working on that. He's been having a couple other projects. We taking our time with that. I know y'all can't wait to see it, but we take and explore it and get on that mailing list and so you can know what we popping, what is really cracking. Um, but we taking our time. We want to give y'all the best product and the best experience for when y'all go on there. One thing I will say, artists, and I'm gonna make this announcement now. If you want your music featured on the website on the playlist, send MP3s to myself to that same email that I gave you. Or you could DM them to me on Facebook, but I need MP3s. Okay, send MP3s, and that way I can put the songs in the queue on the on the website. Do this now while it's free. Do this now while it's free. And you know how I do with the free shit. When I say that, it might go on for like 6, 7 months, and then I might just get up and be like, "Fuck it, it ain't free no more." So don't be a stupid one.
Today's
Get in
prices is
while
not tomorrow prices.
I'm trying to tell you, get in
It's
while
for the
it's
fruit.
good. So send them MP3s, man. Send them MP3s. Freestyle division. You know the championship might be on the line Saturday. Might have a whole bunch of number one contender matches. We might have some other shit going on, man. Y'all been
Facts.
tuning in. Y'all been tuning in. I want to take the time out to shout out the fans of Spotlight Sports. Cause y'all been tuning in, man. I've been seeing the algorithm. Y'all been tuning in. Y'all fucking with us. Y'all really, really like us. And we fuck with y'all too. Keep fucking with us. Keep liking. Keep commenting. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing this shit. And come talk sports with us. Stop being so damn quiet. Y'all know y'all be at home while we talking shit on here. Y'all talking shit to y'all people. Talk some shit on here about the sport. I know y'all be talking about it when we talk about it. That nigga tripping talk about that team going win. I know y'all be doing that because I be doing that when I'm at home watching them on the TV. So I know, you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Support the real casters. We don't call ourselves sports casters. We call ourselves the real casters. Support the real casters because we gonna
Guest
cast nothing
guest
but the real.
guest hosts welcome. So you can even hit up Hawk Life to get on the show for a week.
Yes,
Knowing you
sir.
want to talk your shit. If you feel like, oh, this week I know I want to say something. Um, some more announcements. No one's defended the title successfully for the freestyle division yet. Maybe Lyric can do that. Maybe he can't. We don't know. But I will say that my plan is to have him battle for the title this week. Another thing I'm gonna say is Hawk Life has his rematch number one contender clause. So does Chef Benji. So we might be seeing them go at it once again. They went at it for the title on multiple occasions. I think Hawk Life's the only person to hold the title twice. Never successfully defended it, but he held it twice. So he the leader right now on how many championships. Um, Lyric is the first ever double champ
They got
for
some
Battle Rap
shooters in
Kingdom.
here, man. Yeah,
Because Hawk Life
I
was a double
like that.
champ with another league. He was a champion at two, but for Battle Rap Kingdom,
Highly
he held.
decorated, better rap.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lyric's the first double champ to have the tag team and the freestyle division, and he trying to be the first one to defend his title. But it's hard, and that's how you see the competition. No one defended their title yet. Hawk Life the only one to come back and win it again. So he the first one to come back and get the championship twice. So there's a lot of history that's going to be going down. Um, that if y'all missing out on, as far as Hawk Life reacts, y'all need to send in your video so he can react to the songs. If you got new fire that you want everyone to give their opinion on and a breakdown of your song, like how we break down these battles, Hawk Life is the king of that. He does great breakdowns on songs, and everybody enjoys it when he does a reacts. I've been a part of that. Been on the other side as an artist, sending in my music. As far as interviews, like y'all know, you can set up the interviews with Hawk Life for your music, your company, your branding, or if you just a producer, or if you just want to come on and talk about certain subjects, like, oh, I don't really make music, you can still come on there and talk about sports. You can still come on there, even though we'd rather have you on Spotlight Sports, but you can pick your subject. It's not just music. Um, we more than music entertainment. Me and Lyric, but I'm gonna say it's more than music for Battle Rap Kingdom as well. So if you want anything that you want to do an interview about, hit up Hawk Life. Me and Lyric, we already talked to Hawk Life about setting up another interview for me and Lyric separately, where we go over, you know what I mean, we've done one before and we done a recap, and now we trying to do another recap, which would be dope for those Loud Mob fans and those Chop It Up podcasts and those Smoke Session fans to know what we're doing musically. So that's in the works. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on over here, and successfully going on. And just to recap the one announcement, just so y'all know, so you think you funny, hey, you got jokes and you sitting around the house just joking around all day, you might be able to come in and win some money. You might be able to come in and you never know. You might break the internet and go viral with these jokings. I think it's gonna be a dope ass concept that Hawklife came up with. It's more than just going back and forth with jokes. You're gonna have the scenarios, like he said. You're gonna have an actual set, a stand-up set where you can focus on your opponent, or you can just bring your best jokes. I would say don't bring no jokes somebody done heard before, because I'm pretty sure the judges there are going to point out you can't say your mama's so fat that she traveled around the world and we done heard all that. We want some fresh new shit that might work, it might not, but it's probably going to be deducted if you're using jokes that we done heard before. So bring your own
So
content,
you
just like
think
with the battle rap.
you funny. Each contestant will compete in 1v1 comedy improv games. Game number one is your mama jokes. Two comedians, they battle each other with your mama jokes for 2 minutes. Second game is scenarios. The comedians giving topics to see if they can come up with jokes on the spot. And then the third game is funny freestyle. We give the comedians a 5 minute set to convince the judges why they should win. I'm telling you, this is a new concept. Like I tell y'all here at Battle Rap Kingdom Media Group, we are not just trendsetters, we are the trend. You know what I'm saying? So understand this is something different. And when you see So You Think You Can Funny when it drops, man, be tuned in. You gonna have I need you gonna get some belly laughs. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a show. Versus Underground, Chief YZ versus the homie Haywall will be coming up in these next couple of weeks as well. So make sure you tune in for that. We're gonna have a flyer come out for that, and within like the next week or two, with a date and a time, so y'all know when to tune in. That's gonna be a dope one. Catalog versus catalog. Make sure you're in the building. I know y'all see these motherfuckers over here active. Yeah, we active. Even when people thought they was, we ain't gonna go there. All I'm gonna say is we right here. We keep the spotlight on the sports and the sports on spotlight. And if you in the spotlight, you already know what's going on over here in Battle Rap Kingdom. So if you fucking with the brand, that's
As
right.
far as that verses, I got my catalog ready. I got my whole songs already ready. For the one someone ducked me, we're not gonna name names, but somebody it was supposed to be a verses with me involved, and the person backed out. So I had already made that playlist. Now I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to bring that playlist to this one. I might switch up a little bit of things after I do homework or whatever, but my plan is to do a feature with him. So we'll play our 10 songs and then we'll do our feature that we got together. So hopefully that's in the works because me and him talking behind the scenes. But
That's the first
it's gonna be
verses.
friendly fire.
Yeah, that's the first versus. Then
Yeah,
we got Lyric versus who it was? No.
he was supposed to verse Un because they had a little call out, but Un did not answer. He's versing. It was somebody who was on freestyle, the freestyle division.
Nah,
I
person
can't
back
remember
down.
who it was.
That person back down. I don't remember. I think it was off Guerrilla Warzone, and then after that, all that shit started happening, and then boom.
Somebody called you out of here. Y'all had got both got called
It
out of
was
saying that
Swake,
we
I believe,
agreed on it.
wasn't it? It was
No, we
Swake,
had
wasn't
agreed
it?
on
No,
it. We had
I,
agreed
we
on it.
was on a freestyle division,
yeah,
and
Oh,
he
for
called
y'all.
you out. He
yeah.
wanted the
He called
verses, and
me
then
out,
Reggie Youngblood said he wanted the verses, and I said
but
we good. Let's get it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, I
I'm
know
gonna have to
we
look back.
got the Reggie Youngblood, the Haywell versus Cheefa versus, and if you haven't seen Lyric versus, damn, that shit was such a massacre. No, that wasn't Lyric. I'm sorry, Lyric. The group
It
versus,
was
the group versus, the last versus we did, which was the group versus, which was OSG versus Gorilla House. Go check that one out. Also, go check out Lyric versus um uh what that nigga name is? Him who should not be discussed. I can't say his damn
him
name.
should not be named.
Yeah, and then,
Um,
and then the other one, Loudmouth versus Pluto nigga, Rocky Gang, Rocky Gang. Yeah,
yeah, they was. Yeah, we versed Rocky Gang. We versed Mexico Shorty. It was a no show. We just
yeah,
that was a massacre.
yeah.
Um, I think what was I forget what old buddy's name was. I ain't gonna lie, because it was just so unforgettable. Lyric tore him up. It was
Oh, Lil Solid, Lil
I can't.
Solid. Lyric versus Lil
Yeah,
Solid. I'm sorry about that,
look,
Lil
this is
Solid.
why I couldn't forget him because
Yeah, I'm
I'm
high
thinking
as shit.
about K Dub Solid. I'm thinking
Yeah,
about K Dub Solid. So whenever I thought about Lil Solid, I was like, nah, that was Solid for L or whatever. For hey,
it wasn't a
he
massacre.
got what
That
he asked
one,
for.
I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't a massacre. It's just that the styles was so different. I was thinking about the Mexico Shorty battle when I was saying it was a mess because he didn't show up. It
Oh,
really was a mess.
that was the
Yeah,
craziest one. We we slaughtered him. Even if
yeah,
he would have showed up, it would have been over. He was supposed to battle me. I was supposed to battle him, and he didn't want to battle. Everybody who wanted to battle me usually back the fuck out. So
yeah.
I don't know. Had a couple people try to battle me, and we battled off screen, and I got like 2-3 dubs off screen, and they never came back to the league. Hopefully they do. Well, we welcome them, but
Yeah.
a lot of people called me out, and they ain't ready for it.
Yeah. Like I
They don't
said,
show
we
up.
active. Some of my OGs starting to pop back up. Man, I let you know we active, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Day
Yeah,
one
it's been a lot
niggas.
of growth.
Yeah, day one motherfuckers who started this shit, who else started this shit, then double back. He do live battles, but he back on the platform, showing up for us. You know what I'm saying? He ain't battle yet, but he judged. You know what I'm saying? He back getting active on the platform. He
He
was
had
up.
a chance to battle. He just
Yeah.
he want to
I think
battle.
he wanted to spectate it and see what everybody had first. I think he wanted to scout first. He didn't want to just jump in.
Oh, he
So
better. We told him that this league ain't no chump shit.
man, shout out to the
Anybody
homie
can get
Flex.
at you in this league.
Shout,
Yeah,
shout out to the
which
homie
was
Flex.
smart. Which is smart.
But definitely, man, it's
But
more to come, man. You might come on the week and see some new faces. I know everybody say they getting active Saturday. They gonna try to make it. Um, we shall see, because they say that during the week when Saturday come and be a
I
whole
was about to
different.
say I ain't trying to call out the league, but everybody active until it come to Saturday. Everybody
Well,
want to smoke. Everybody calling people
to
out,
be
dropping their
fair,
little freestyles in the chat, but they don't pop up.
they popped up. I ain't gonna lie, they popped up better. Whatever last night than they did Sunday. I will say that. Nobody
Yeah,
Sunday. And be like ghost time, but I understood because they was ready Saturday, and some I forgot my birthday and some shit, and I couldn't be there. to start the recording.
That's
So
understandable. They
that's
can't
what it
say they
was.
can't blame it on us. That was the first week we didn't do it on Saturday, so that's on them.
Mm.
And I already told all the battlers, if you are free and there's like 6 people who want to battle and it's a fucking Wednesday, you know what I mean? Happen as long as there's nothing going on, and you say, you know what, we're doing a pop up event right now. So if you get active and everybody wants to battle, it's just everybody wants to wait till Saturday, and then Saturday comes and some stuff happens, but there's still going to be some pop-ups, so you never know. You might see a freestyle division pop up on other than Saturday, and it might just be just
Right.
because everybody active.
Right. We're gonna start adding that in there. It might be on the spot. You just never know. Cause people did ask for battles on the spot. It might just be on the spot. You never know. The single battles, just if it's ain't number that one single battle, it's just gonna be shit on the spot. It might just be shit on the spot. You just never know. Like I said, we got a lot going on the platform, man. It's been Spotlight Sports. I'm gonna let Cheefa close it out, man. I had a good time.
Hey, we getting into the spotlight sports. We getting later in the season. It's getting more interesting. There's gonna be more upset games. Like I said, we're gonna start doing upset of the week, or you know what I mean. We're gonna start pointing out where, you know what I mean, the team that should win might not win. There's gonna be more things added to spotlight sports and more categories and more things we're gonna talk about. Um, Same thing with Battle Rap Kingdom. There's a lot of things that's happening. Everyone's waiting for the tag team division to come back. We're not going to speak on why it got paused for a second. The arm wax, the shellac, the female division that's highly anticipated. I can't wait for that. There's a lot of things that I like that's going on. Like the verses. The verses is dope as hell. That's the original underground verses. Can't get that nowhere else. No one else does that around us. Everyone sticks to the mainstream, but these are real underground artists bringing their best catalog. So we take pride in having versus underground and creating and help movement pioneers. Um, yeah, it's gonna be dope. I can't wait. Hawk Life still waiting for an on wax opponent. So if anybody want to try and test their pen against Hawk, he waiting for an opponent. He done had some people back out. Um, but like I said, it's dope. This is Spotlight Sports. You know what I mean? Where the sports is spotlighted. Uh, Next week is Lyrics already calling it. He said next week gonna be his favorite week of Spotlight Sports. So don't miss that. Don't miss that. Like we said, I got 21 wins for the season. Hawk Life got 19. Lyric got 18. So that's the race so far. Who gonna have the most wins at the end of the season? So hey, it's dope. I got somebody hit me up right now. I ain't gonna talk about that too much. But hey, it was a dope show every week. I think this sports show, I like to give some praises and flowers. Like Bro would say, we don't want no dead flowers, just like his music. If y'all need to check out that album, and there's a lot of other mixtapes and albums around that. We waiting on Murder Man. I just dropped something. Hawk Life is on remix of something I dropped. I'm not gonna say what song, but y'all should know unless he want to announce it, because that's his announcement. But I'm working on that as well, editing and fixing songs up. But there's a lot of dope shit happening music wise from all three of us. After we set things up, there's a lot of things that's going on, so things might not go as quick as we used to because we got so much subjects and so much things that we doing over here. But hey, it's gonna be dope, and it's worth the wait. Patience is a virtue. But like I said, yeah, it's gonna be dope. I give Hawk Life and Lyric flowers here. This ain't gonna be no Skip and Shannon type things. We all respect each other here, and I think this has worked out. This has been over exceeding. Y'all fans have really supported the sports show. It wasn't a risk, but it was something like, okay, let's see if we can pull it off. We talked about it last year, and then it came around this year where it was, yeah, we're gonna do it. So it was dope that we got to pull it off, and everyone's supporting it. And we got our 3 hosts right here showing up every week doing their thing. A lot of behind the scenes thing that setting it up and everything is dope. So I'm glad y'all enjoy it. But yeah, y'all been supporting everything. Like Hawk Life said, the fans is the #1 award winners today and every day. Because without y'all, we wouldn't have a platform to bring any kind of entertainment to y'all. So it's more of the fans get the most flowers here tonight. So Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man, on that.
It's Battle Rap
Yeah,
Kingdom in
man.
this motherfucker.
Peace.
Road to 1,000. We might be past the road to 1,000, but it's going down.
We still at 997. We getting there. We getting there. Make sure you liking it. Make sure you subscribing to the YouTube channel, man. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure y'all watching, man. Cause then once we hit the 1,000, we gotta get the watch time hours up, man. We had like 400 or something. Man. Let's get the watch time hours up, man. We gotta get to that 3,000 or that 4,000, man, so we can monetize over there on YouTube. You feel me? Support the movement,
Oh, we're
man.
gonna get
Like I
close with all
said,
the stuff we're doing.
yeah, we going crazy over here in Facebook. Yeah, I heard me talking about them bonuses the other day. You know what I'm saying? The performances bonus. I don't know how that shit work, but I'm working on fixing that. It pops up every now and then on my goddamn meta thing. But yeah, man. Yeah, pushing the platform. The platform is really growing, man. It's getting to that point where everybody on this motherfucker that you see on the daily gonna be eating off this motherfucker. And not only that, the artists that come through here that participate. And that's what the ultimate goal is, man. That's what the ultimate goal is, to get them artists uh music and shit, and they grow pushed to the ultimate level. Let them start seeing monetization off of their shit. You know what I'm saying? Showing them, hey, this the way to go to get it, huh? Let me start you. Let me, you know what I'm saying? What we do over here, we do not only as businessmen, we do as artists. This not about money to us. It's about the love of craft, the love of culture. So, like I said, man,
Fact.
you know, you know what it is, man. Stay tuned to this brand, man, and what we got going on, man, because we're growing in big numbers. Shout out to everybody that showed up, that watched. If you didn't see it all the way from the beginning, make sure you go back to the beginning and see it. Make sure you check out the gaming behind the scenes videos that I was doing. Go check that out. Like I said, also stay in tune for the website. I got a behind the scenes on that I'm gonna drop after the website launch. So you might want to tune into that. Me and lyrical behind the scenes. You're gonna see some shit us working on some shit, talking and vibing, him teaching me some shit, and we got some shit in store for y'all. So make sure you guys stay in tune. Yeah, stay in tune to the brand. I got some other shit that I gotta do offline that I'm gonna also drop on the platform. So make sure y'all stay in tune for that. And I had some beautiful clips from Mardi Gras this year that I have yet to drop. I might be dropping little clips of that, little shorts of that too. So you just never know what you're gonna get here. Just stay tuned, man. Peace, man. Blessings, and make sure you always keep sports in the spotlight.